Right now, sex isn't the focus of my life, and that's okay. I'm focusing on other aspects of myself and my relationships, knowing that desire is just one part of the broader picture of connection. It's difficult to reconcile where I am now with where I used to be, but I'm learning to be gentle with myself, understanding that this is just another part of life's natural ebb and flow, and it doesn't define who I am. I've started to see my current lack of desire as part of a bigger process, one that isn't about force or urgency. It's about allowing myself the space to grow and explore new ways of being intimate with myself and others. Sometimes I feel like my sex drive has been put on hold, but instead of resisting it, I'm learning to embrace the stillness. This phase is teaching me to listen more closely to what I need, rather than just seeking what I think I should want. I've learned that it's okay to not feel the same intensity of desire I once did. Desire is fluid, it ebbs and flows, and I'm giving myself permission to move with it, trusting that it will return in its own time. It's a bit unsettling to feel disconnected from my desires, but I'm choosing to see this as an opportunity for growth. Maybe this is my body's way of asking me to slow down and focus on emotional and spiritual connections instead. In this quieter moment, I'm realizing that intimacy is more than just physical connection. Right now, I'm focusing on the emotional and mental aspects of intimacy, and I trust that the physical will come when it's meant to. The stillness of my sex drive is teaching me that desire doesn't always have to be chased. Sometimes it's about being present with where I am and allowing myself to honor the quieter parts of myself. I used to think desire was something that had to be constant, but I'm learning that it changes with time. Right now, my body is in a place of rest, and I'm honoring that. I know that desire will return when the time is right. I've come to realize that desire doesn't always need to be loud and overwhelming. Sometimes it's soft and subtle, a gentle force that builds gradually. I'm learning to appreciate this quieter, slower pace of connection. It's hard not to feel like I've lost something, but I'm slowly seeing that my lack of desire isn't a loss at all. It's just a shift, a chance for me to explore new ways of connecting with myself and my partner without relying on the same intensity I once had. Right now, I'm learning to accept the quietness of my sex drive. It's not a failure, but a natural part of the ebb and flow of life. I trust that desire will return in a new form, one that's more aligned with where I am today. There's something beautiful about this quieter phase in my life. My sex drive may not be as strong as it once was, but in this stillness, I'm learning to connect more deeply with myself and the people I care about. Sometimes I feel unsure about where my desire has gone, but I'm learning to embrace this moment of uncertainty. It's not about forcing things to change, it's about trusting that the energy will return in its own time and form. I've learned that it's okay to not feel a strong desire for sex right now. It's a part of life's natural rhythms, and I'm choosing to honor this phase without judgment or guilt. Desire will come back when it's ready. My lack of desire doesn't define me. It's just a part of who I am right now, and I'm learning to accept it. Maybe this is an opportunity to focus on the emotional aspects of intimacy, knowing that desire will follow when the time is right. I'm starting to see my current feelings as a chance to grow, rather than feeling lost without the same intensity of desire. I'm learning to appreciate the other forms of connection I can nurture in my life. It's strange to feel disconnected from the passion I once felt, but I'm learning that it's not about loss, it's about growth. This phase is allowing me to focus on building deeper connections with myself and others. I'm accepting that my sex drive may not be as strong as it once was, but that doesn't mean I'm any less connected or capable of experiencing intimacy. I'm just learning to experience it in a different way, one that feels more authentic to where I am now. Right now, I'm focusing on emotional and mental intimacy rather than physical. I know that desire will return when it's meant to, but for now, I'm learning to appreciate the connections that exist beyond the physical realm. I've learned that intimacy is about more than just physical desire. Right now, I'm focusing on the emotional closeness that can be built through understanding, communication, and presence, knowing that physical desire will come naturally when the time is right. There are times when I feel disconnected from myself, like the passion and energy that once fueled my desires have softened. It's not that I don't long for connection, but the spark that used to be so vibrant feels distant, almost hidden. I wonder if this change in my sex drive is due to stress, age, or just the natural changes in life. It's confusing not to feel the desire I once had, but it also makes me wonder if my body is trying to guide me toward something new. The moments when every touch and glance stirred something deep inside me now feel like a distant memory. My body seems quieter now, and I can't help but wonder if this is a phase or if the way I experience intimacy is evolving. There's a certain vulnerability in admitting that my sex drive isn't what it used to be. It's as if a part of me has slowed down, and I don't know whether I should try to reignite that spark or let things unfold naturally. In this moment, my desires feel less intense, almost like a small flame rather than a raging fire. I don't know if it's a temporary shift or something deeper, but I am learning to embrace where I am and trust the process. I'm questioning whether the shift in my sex drive is related to my emotional state, life pressures, or something else. It's unsettling to feel so distant from a part of myself that was once so vibrant and active. When I reflect on the times when my sex drive was stronger, I realize I took it for granted. Now that things have changed, I'm learning to redefine intimacy in my life, to connect with others in deeper ways beyond just physical desire. Sometimes I feel frustrated, wishing my desire would return to what it once was. But then I remind myself that everything in life ebbs and flows, and this current phase may be part of a bigger process of personal growth. It feels like my desire has slowed down, and while I miss the intensity, I also wonder if this quiet time is an opportunity to explore new types of connection, perhaps in more subtle or emotional ways. It's hard not to feel like something's wrong when my sex drive is different from what it used to be. But deep down, I know this is just part of the natural rhythm of life, and I'll find a new balance in time. Right now, my body feels like it's in a state of rest. I don't feel the same urgency to seek intimacy as I once did. But in this stillness, I'm learning to appreciate the deeper, quieter connections I can nurture with myself and others. I'm relieved that I'm not constantly chasing after desire, but I also miss the passion that used to feel so effortless. There's a delicate balance between accepting this new space and longing for the intensity I once had. I feel like my sex drive has taken a back seat for now, but it's giving me space to explore what intimacy means beyond physical connection. Maybe it's not about intense passion. Maybe it's about building a deeper bond with myself and others. I've been wondering if my lack of desire is linked to emotional blocks or simply the demands of life. The energy I once felt seems distant, but I trust that it will return in a form that's better suited to where I am now. The quietness of my sex drive feels strange, almost like I'm losing a part of myself. But I remind myself that this is just a phase, not the end. Desire comes and goes, and I know it will find its way back when the time is right. My sex drive used to be so intense, but now it feels like a soft, gentle presence. I'm beginning to see this change as part of my growth, a way to connect with myself on a deeper level rather than simply through physical desire. At times, I wonder if this is just a temporary phase or something more lasting, but I'm trying to trust the process and accept that my desires are changing in ways I might not fully understand right now. Lately, I've been reflecting on what desire really means to me. It used to be a dominant force in my life, but now it's a quiet whisper, and I'm learning to listen to that subtle call rather than chasing after something more intense. It's strange to feel so disconnected from the passion I once had, but I'm learning to appreciate this quieter phase, trusting that it's part of a bigger journey, one that will lead me to new understandings of intimacy. There's power in accepting where I am with my sex drive. It's not about shame or disappointment. It's about understanding and patience, knowing that my body is in a different phase right now, and that's okay. Right now, I feel like I've lost touch with a part of myself, but I'm realizing that this isn't a loss, it's a shift. My sex drive may not be where it used to be, but that doesn't mean I'm any less of a whole person. It feels like my desires are softer now, and while it's unfamiliar, I'm learning to appreciate this phase. Desire doesn't always have to be loud. It can be a quiet force that builds over time, just waiting to be rediscovered.